When Alexander Jarman decided to partner with Writerz Blok to have graffiti artists interpret images from the modern Mexican painting exhibit, he knew it would raise eyebrows.
We are going to get some questions about pairing Diego Rivera imagery with graffiti.
But what better way to convey what goes into creating murals like the ones by Diego Rivera than to commission one to go up in the museum where people can watch its progress? Plus, graffiti is a key part of contemporary urban muralism. But this raises another question. What happens to this rebellious art form when it's placed in a mainstream setting?
It definitely changes when it comes inside the institution, but that only makes it different. It doesn't necessarily make it better or worse. It just is a different context for it.
Helping put graffiti into this different context is Writerz Blok artist Saratoga Sake. I met Sake back in 1991 when he was 22 and part of a crew doing walls for a Fox 6 promo campaign I was producing. Back then, he specialized in putting up portraits with just a spray can. But now he's added brushes and oils to his repertoire.
With the rise of the internet, it kind of sped things up for me over the past 5 years. Everything's there. If you want to learn how to paint, and you have the talent, you could basically teach yourself. But yeah, I'm totally self-taught. I think I even got like D's and F's in art class at one time in high school.
With his new tools, Sake adapted easily to the challenges of putting up the museum mural. For one, he couldn't paint with aerosol inside the museum because the fumes and particles could damage other paintings. So for the base layer of the mural, he had the team of Writerz Blok artists employ a centuries-old technique.
Yeah, this is some type of charcoal, and we're basically just putting an under base because Sake's chosen to use a Flemish technique.
I drew everything first with charcoal, and then I'm just doing light washes on top of it. The underpainting does all the magic, and then you just paint right over it, real lightly.
Sake found the old masters helpful in solving his problems. Sake's ability to mix traditional and street art also led him to a design appropriate for a museum setting, but without sacrificing his graffiti style.
I wanted the Hands of Dr. Moore by Diego Rivera to be like the hands of God. Like Diego is kind of the creator of almost the mural movement, and this woman's head is almost like the shape of the world, and he's like injecting the tree of life into her and cutting off a limb, and I'm going to have like a rainbow of color shooting out of her eye, and then that's where the graffiti is going to start.
This whole section that's in this curve is going to be cut out, and it's going to have graffiti in it. So right now I'm just laying out the contour so they can cut it out precisely.
The graffiti panels were spray painted outdoors and then mounted onto the 70-foot mural. The sheer scale of the wall was a challenge as well. Sectioning it off through a grid helped.
Yeah, the grid helps us so we can measure out the wall and get everything in the right place. And once you have one thing in the right place, it helps you get other things in the right place.
Back in the day, Sake never would have used a grid. But his attitude has changed about a lot of things, especially after he started going to museums and seeing the art with an open mind.
And I think that made me a better graffiti artist, being more open to all sorts of art, you know, and seeing paintings I've seen in books before, and they didn't actually look like how they looked in books. They looked like just, whoa.
That's precisely the feeling Alexander Jarman wants to elicit from people coming to the museum and seeing the mural from Writerz Blok.
Nothing replaces having an experience with the art right in front of you.
Seeing the impressive 70-foot mural up close may be exactly the type of intimate experience that'll bring people around to appreciating graffiti as a fine art.